Hey guys, so it's day 6, and today is going to be a little different. There's not going to be any kind of footage, there's not going to be any kind of music playing in the background, just because what we did was really hard for me. Um, so we went to a retirement community, and this is a place where it's not just for retired people or people who can't support themselves because of age. It's where anybody goes if they just can't support themselves at all, whether it be a physical disability or whatever the case. And it was hard for me just because um, it reminded me of my mission trip that I took to the Bahamas. I started in 8th grade and I went for 5 years after that. We would spend a week down there doing construction work for an AIDS and HIV camp. And some of the people I met there, they it was the same as this retirement community. And sorry. So when we went down to the Bahamas, we met these people that they were incredible people. Many of them had absolutely nothing, and they still had the strongest faith I have ever seen in my life. And this retirement community that we went to in Jamaica was exactly like that. And so just talking with people was kind of hard. I even I even had the privilege of feeding a woman who I'm not really sure what happened to her because she wasn't very vocal. I don't think she could be, but I had the privilege of feeding her dinner, and that itself brought back some memories because I did the same thing down in the Bahamas. So that was it was a great experience, but it was hard. And so while we were there, I went into the back room where nobody else really went because that's where the people were that couldn't walk. A lot of them could not talk, and yeah. So I met this woman, and her name was Clara Brown. She she was, I think she was legally blind. Like she could see shapes, so she could see me, but that's really all she could see. So she um first I should say we were not the only ones there. There was a group from US nursing students who were there, and they talked to her. And so after hearing them talk to her, I decided that I wanted to have a conversation with this woman too. And so I approached her and I said that I saw and heard you praying for this group, and I see your faith, and I was just wondering if I could have a conversation with you. And she looked at me and she smiled. She said, "Absolutely, sit down with me." And we got to talking, and I found out that family, um, her family, put her in there because they couldn't take care of her, and it was hard to hear something like that, but I still saw a lot of light from her because her her son still comes to visit her regularly, and when she started talking about that, her face just lit up, and it made me really happy to see something like that. I also learned some of the hardships that she had to go through. And she lost her daughter to drugs. Don't remember how long ago, but it's still fresh in her mind, and to hear that really hurt. It hurt my heart for her, and I'm sorry. So, but she was telling me that she kept saying, by the grace of God, I've been able to get through this, and I thank Him every day for it and the life He has given me. And yeah, she's had her hardships, but she still has this wonderful faith. And it's so humbling and wonderful to see something like that. That's part of the reason I kept going back to the Bahamas. And we kept talking, and after a while, she asked me to read no, she didn't ask me. We kept talking, and after a while, she told me that she lost her sight. She almost has no ability to walk because of some kind of complications that she had. So she can move her legs, but that's about as far as it can go. She can't support herself. And more complications happened. She ended up losing her sight, and she says the one thing that she regrets about that is that she can't read the Bible anymore. And after hearing something like that, it was the next thing I said to her was, would you like me to read it to you then? And the smile she had on her face was just amazing. She said, please, I would love that. And I asked her if there was a specific book she wanted me to read, and I read through Jeremiah for her. I read Jeremiah 1, and as I'm reading through it, she keeps smiling, she keeps saying, amen, praise God, things like that, and it was wonderful to hear. And the really cool part is the woman that I was feeding, she showed no signs of knowing that I was there. But when I started reading that Bible, and when I started reading through Jeremiah 1, she started talking to me. She started saying thank you. She was ecstatic that she had somebody to read the Bible for her as well. And it was a wonderful feeling, seeing her so happy, both of them so happy. I can't comprehend how her faith is so strong and wonderful like that. But seeing it is just one of the best feelings I have ever had. And it reminded me a lot of what we did in the Bahamas. And I miss that trip all the time because that was seriously life-changing for me, and being able to experience something like that again. it's, it was great, and I'm so glad that we were able to go there, because it really was a good reminder, and I really actually needed something like that. So after talking with her for a while, she finally said, like, you better make sure that your group hasn't left you. And she, I told her, okay. And, I said, it was wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much. And I'm glad I was able to read for you. And she said that she's so happy that God brought me to her, because she felt like something was needed with me, and she hopes that she was able to give it to me. So she prayed for me before I left, and it was like a 10-minute prayer, but I stood there listening to her the entire time, and I never once wavered to what she was saying. I just kept thinking to myself, thank you. I'm so glad that I was able to experience something like that. And there is no feeling like seeing something like that, and if you ever get the chance, do it. It changed my life in the Bahamas, and to experience it again here it was just wonderful. I'm I'm sorry if my voice is wavered a little bit, or if I'm getting a little choked up, but it was emotional for me, and it was really hard, but I'm so glad that I was able to do it. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.